All right, it's time. Seeker, you ready? I'm so pumped. I know you're excited. This is great.
I was ready when I woke up today. I woke up today. I was like, okay, I gotta go to school, take my exam, come home, and watch a show match between Young versus Lucky. Like this match is so important to me that I actually put it into one of my like top priorities of things to do today.
That's exactly where it belongs because it is about to kick off, guys. Yong versus Lucky. We're going to be starting here in Cloud Kingdom. There is a map pool. It's going to be a loser's pick situation. Very normal show match stuff. So, not throwing any curveballs at you. Just going to be a lot of good StarCraft. So here we are, guys, on the map, spawning in the upper right. He is the Pink Protoss playing for Clarity Gaming. He is Yong.
Do you do that GSL thing where you zoom in?
I did zoom in.
All right.
You
Yeah,
could just
good.
tell, couldn't you?
I love doing that thing. It's so much fun.
Yeah, and as the resident FXO caster, you take it away for Lucky, man.
All right. Well, over here in the bottom left corner of the map on Cloud Kingdom is going to be the Zerg player for FXOpen eSports. We're going to see exactly what kind of strategies he's prepared for us today. Can he pull off a victory here in game one? It is going to be FXOpen's Lucky.
And I gave it some special zooms there,
Good.
just so we know,
very
just so
glad,
we're clear.
'cause I did it too. It's become a habit for me to do it as well.
It's hard to resist, man. You so rarely get the opportunity to zoom. I mean, obviously when you're playing, it's more of a hindrance than anything, but in this case, it's very fun. So, guys, we're gonna be here on Cloud Kingdom. It looks like Yong right now is going for a Forge Fast Expand based play, and it's definitely still the most popular strategy. We have seen a revival of Gate Expands and Heart of the Swarm because of that Mothership core, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Forge Fast Expand has been working for so long.
I was actually just about to ask you if you've casted a lot of Heart of the Swarm game because, believe it or not, this is my first.
Oh, well, this should be exciting. I've casted a few, not as much as I'd like to, that's for sure, because I've been doing a lot of Wings of Liberty-based events, so I've kind of had to make sure, I'm not rusty there. But I do have a few Heart of the Swarm casts done. I'd like to say I'm, relatively up to speed on this particular matchup as well, so I mean, I think we'll have a good balance here, because maybe you're going to see things that I don't, and meanwhile I'll be there to just make sense out of everything if there's anything confusing, I guess.
I'll be honest with you, I really want to see some of the new units here tonight for this show match. I want to see Tempest, I want to see Swarm Host, I want to see Viper, I want to see Oracle, I want to see it all. I want Young and Lucky to just go crazy and just bust out all the good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think Swarm Hosts are definitely something that that could come up. I've seen some of Lucky's Heart of the Swarm play, and he has used Swarm Hosts prior. He actually has a neat thing I've seen where he's gone for Swarm Hosts, but Corruptors first, if his opponent opens Stargate, and he can use the Corruptors to kind of camp the Stargate. It's actually very interesting. It depends on the building positioning, of course, but those two units in particular work very well in conjunction, so I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that out of Yucky, or Lucky. Oh my god, I mixed their two names
Yucky?
together and I made a terrible word.
Okay, so it's Long and
Long.
Yucky.
Oh no, that's no good. Well, these guys can't ever be an Archon because they just won't have the best name ever.
You're right. But it's so funny that they both have names where even if you switch the two letters, it still makes a word.
Yeah, it still makes a word. Not the best word, but I mean, it works out. If it ever had to be done, not sure why it would have to be, but that's a very interesting discovery.
Alright, so we are going to have a bit of a standard 3-base opening here from FXOpen's Lucky, and we're going to have yet another standard 2-base opening here from Young. And so far it looks like these players just kind of want to play standard, and it's a little bit, it's understandable. It's game one, no one's behind. There's really no pressure to try to take the game ahead of you right now to try to even up the score because the score is already even at 0-0. So I can see that both players, they're probably just going to go for, things they're really comfortable with. Their safety zone. Probably just going to go for standard plays. But, you never know. We could be seeing, like, Immortal Sentry all-in from Young. Maybe he wants to Wings of Liberty, libertize this. Is that even a word?
It is now. And, Wings of Libertizing a match is actually, it's very popular in Heart of the Swarm right now because, especially when, there's something on the line, you're going to go with what's tried and true. But at the same time, old strategies with new units mixed in work very well, and particularly the Immortal Sentry all-in that you're talking about. Mix that in with the Mothership Core, throw a couple Time Warps on there. It is brutal for Zergs to deal with. And of course, this is a map where Immortal Central is actually very strong. So that is something you always have to keep in mind, both as a caster and a player. Is my opponent going to Immortal Central, and I'd better be prepared. But how do you prepare when they've got such a crazy new tool as the Mothership Core? It's going to be hard to say. No Mothership Core yet for Yong, though. So, I mean, obviously the later you get it out, the less time it has to gather energy, so it's unlikely he'll be putting any pressure off any Mothership Core pressure based yet.
Yeah, you are right about that. We're not seeing any kind of Mothership Core, but you know, definitely seeing is how Heart of the Swarm, even though it's in beta stages, it's still like all the new units are pretty much now out at this point, and we just need to figure out a couple of balance things. You know, some patches to come in the future, but definitely we're probably going to be seeing a lot of new openings, you know, because these StarCraft 2 professional players, I'm not speaking just Korean players, I'm saying StarCraft 2 professional players, even European players, North American players, they're all so, you know, inspirational. They can come up with like the craziest openings. And then the minute other people see that, they start replicating it, and then, you know, we're gonna see it in GSL soon, and that's just how the world works.
Yeah, that's how the metagame is born. If your child ever asks you, Mommy, Daddy, where do metagames come from? This is the exact answer right here.
StarCraft 2.
StarCraft 2, man. And we're going to see Yong is actually opening with a Twilight Council and 6 gates. Not necessarily indicative of a Blink all-in, because you usually see 7 gates with that, maybe even 8. But it's still going to be a lot of pressure. 6 gates is definitely the a pressure-laying amount. We're also going to see a Hallucinated Phoenix going to be coming in here for Yong to get a scout off on Lucky, who is going for some quick Hydralisks, and those are definitely, obviously, very strong in Heart of the Swarm. Great units in a straight-up battle, especially defensively on the creep, as long as you have a good meat shield for them. And against a Blink Stalker build, it's going to be interesting, because the Hydras are glass cannons. They're definitely going to need to thin out the Stalker count before they're going to be able to work properly, but with a good Blink micro from Yong.
Well, the Overlord from Lucky has scouted Young's base. So Young's Phoenix scouted Lucky, and Lucky's Overlord scouted Yong. So I think at this point, pretty much both players kind of know what's going on with what their opponent is trying to do. So the question is now, which player is going to react properly, allowing them, you know, to get the upper hand in this game? Because they're pretty even right now. They haven't really, neither of them have sustained the damage.
Yeah, it's very true. It's a stalemate sort of game right now, just a Cold War, everybody massing up their units. We see Yong has taken his 3rd base, and Lucky going to be very aware of that, of course. The Hallucinated Phoenix here for Yong, absolutely just crucial to his understanding. I mean, he's taking this early 3rd because he knows exactly what his opponent's up to. It's going to be Hydras. You know, they're faster now, but they're still not the fastest thing in the world, and there is no speed upgrade quite yet for Lucky. So will he be able to break a 3rd base with the defensive posture of Yong with a lot of sentries, with the Blink finishing up very soon? It's unlikely, but we are going to see some aggression coming in from the FXO player. A lot of Hydras and Lings breaking down those rocks at the natural. Yong's army in position to defend both spots, but is it going to be enough against this high DPS composition?
Well, we could be seeing a battle in a little bit. Looks like Lucky is being very aggressive right now. Already taking down the destructible rocks, and he's constantly at Young's territory, poking here and there. Look at how his units are constantly on the move. And oh, is he gonna lose the Mothership Core?
Oh, is it just barely gonna get away? It's gotta keep moving. Okay.
Gets away.
And it looks like the force field's gonna keep away the army as well.
If those Hydralisks were on creep, I definitely think the Mothership Core would have died.
Yeah, or if they had that speed first haven't been upgraded. At the moment right now.
Yeah.
He went for the range first, which is what a lot of Zerg players are doing, but now we're going to be coming into the engagement here. Ling's going to try to wrap around. The force field's a little bit late there for Yong, and the Lings are going to get on top of this army.
Man, the Ling Hydra composition that Lucky is using right now reminds me very much of Brood War, because this is what Zerg players did.
It's a blast from the past. It looks like Yong's going to be able to clean up a lot of these Lings. Still a lot of Hydras left over.
This is the reinforcements of Lucky strolling in now, and I think it is going to be enough to force Yong to try to retreat.
Yep, Yong is going to have a Colossus about to pop out, though. His Mothership Core is still alive. She's got 2 Time Warps on her. They can be used to his advantage. Oh!
Yeah, Lucky needs to back off right now. The minute the Colossi comes out, as a Zerg player, you cannot afford to stay there. Unless you can pick off that Colossi immediately, but you know, Young was too smart to let that happen.
Yeah, it's tough. It's not like a Terran. You can't just stim, run up, and try to pick it off. Especially with Hydras, it's quite the opposite of stimming units. But now the speed is done. The range done too, of course, but they just melt so quickly.
Yeah, this is what I was saying. Like, Lucky, I think he overextended a little bit here. He should not have kept on pushing. As you can see, Young is doing a great job of keeping that Colossus alive right now. And light units just melt to Colossus, and now it's 2 Colossi, so yes, Lucky is going to have to back off.
Yeah, we see Lucky is switching into a Spire, however. Now this can be, of course, for Corruptors to deal with the Colossi. A little bit of, you know, the older metagame where it's kind of Hydras as the good bulk of your army. Corruptors deal with the Colossi. It's unlikely he's going to be going to a Mutaswitch at this point because it looks like he wants to keep on the pressure. The Corruptors will be way better at dealing with the Colossi than the Mutalisks, but pushing up this ramp is so scary, so dangerous. However, Yong does not have any sentries left, so Lucky did a good job of sniping them out. It's going to be harder for him to maintain a proper defensive posture.
You know, I'm wondering right now, Shane, do you think Blizzard removing the Vortex ability from motherships, do you think that that really affected Protoss players in a way that they were kind of upset over the change?
You know, I actually don't. Interestingly enough, we do see Lucky is going for Mutalisk here, but getting back into that question, I think a lot of players, we're going to see a lot of losses for the Zerg player. Hold on. I do have some opinions on this, but
yeah,
that's going to be a
my
tough
gosh,
loss.
Lucky just lost his entire army.
He's going to have quite a few mutas popping out, though. Going to be almost up to 20, I believe, 19 mutas total. The question is, will they reach Yong's base in time to force him to walk back, or is it going to be a straight muta battle, in which case Yong has a huge stalker count?
Yong has a really big stalker count right now. I think Lucky should not try to engage this. He needs to back off, try to reinforce his army as much as possible. This is just too many stalkers.
Yeah, he made quite a few lings. The Colossi are going to burn through them so quickly, though. And, of course, Yong with his Blink Micro is going to be able to lengthen the life of those Stalkers quite a bit. The Muta's doing good damage.
Oh, wait a minute. The Stalkers wasted too many shots taking down lings, though. He did not target fire the Mutalisks.
Oh, but the huge reinforcements from Yong.
Because, yeah, that is a huge...
It's going to be a little bit too much for Lucky to handle.
Lucky is going to have to back off. Already losing his 4th base right now, so he's back down to 3 bases. And 3 base versus 3 base, the Zerg cannot win.
Yeah, it's a very bad position to be in. The worker count also quite even. Lucky only 3 drones ahead, and he could be losing some here at the 3rd. The Mutalisks going to desperately try to save what they have left, but they keep getting picked off by the Stalkers. And the Mutas are good, and are not that good. Yong is going to be taking the first victory in this best of 7.